Sometimes I wander, sometimes I roam. Sometimes I feel oh so all alone. It's times like these, oh, that's when I need a candle in the window to lead me home. We all get lost, oh, from time to time. To ask for guidance is no shame. But that light I feel inside serves as my guide, like a candle that'll lead me home again. They say not all who wander are lost, but at times I feel so lost inside. That's when I look for the light, that single flame in the night that serves as my strength and my guide. So at those times when I stray too far away, I'll find my way back eventually. There's always that light to guide me through the night, that candle in the window just for me. They say not all who wander are lost, oh, but times I feel so lost inside. It's when I look for the light, that single flame in the night that serves as my strength and my guide. So at those times when I stray too far away, I'll find my way back eventually. There's always that light to guide me through the night, that candle in the window just for me. A candle in the window just for me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Springfield. We are honored that you've chosen to gather with us here this morning. And if you are here for the first time and would like a welcome packet, we have those that we can give to you now, or you can pick up in the foyer on your way out. Okay. Unity is a positive, practical, open-minded approach to Christianity. It's based on the teachings of Jesus and the power of affirmative prayer. We believe that all people are created with sacred worth, and we are free of discrimination on the basis of race, gender, age, creed, religion, ethnicity, ability, and sexual orientation. We honor all paths to God. As we begin today's service, please affirm with me Unity Spiritual Center core values. They are loving, accepting, spirit-filled, and joyous. And our vision, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission statement, Unity Spiritual Center is a loving environment that nurtures spiritual growth while serving one another and the world. And as we begin our service, please mute your cell phones. Yes, everybody goes for their pockets. We all want to enjoy the service without, rock tunes, show tunes, whatever. And the prayer box, as the prayer box is brought forward, let's join in singing Surely the Presence. We open the service by lighting the Christ candle, which symbolizes the divinity within each one of us. And we ring the prayer bowl, allowing its vibrations to weave us together and ground us in the power and presence of Spirit. And for those of you that have prayer requests, I invite you to fill out a prayer request slip. You'll find those in your pews, and place it in the offering basket on the way at the end of the service. We'll pray over them here. We don't peek, we just pray. We put them in the prayer box, and then we send them on to Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of prayer. And now, if you'll take a moment with me to just get centered, to just breathe, to just feel that connection of spirit as we are woven together as one in this space. And we are woven together as one throughout the world. We are all children of God. We acknowledge that in ourselves and in all those we meet and in all those we've never even seen. We call forth that Christ presence within each person on our planet, knowing that it is there. They are children of God, as we are. And we bless each other with unity and love. Thank you, God. We accept. Amen and amen. Mm-hmm. And now for the daily word. Today's word is guidance. I use divine wisdom to find my way. When I'm pondering a perplexing question or I need to make an important choice, I reach beyond human reasoning to the limitless wisdom of divine mind, never further away than my next thought. After clarifying my question and considering my available options, I release the situation, focusing instead on the divine presence within. I affirm, I am using divine wisdom to show me the way. In prayerful silence, peace envelops me. As I conclude my prayer time and I resume my activities, I may experience a flash of insight or a more gradual understanding. However it happens, I trust my next steps will become clear to me. Confident in my divine guidance, I move forward with calm assurance. And from Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, but strive first for the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. And remember, today's word is guidance. And now, I would like to introduce our speaker today, Mike Cleary. He's been a speaker at many churches and organizations for many years. He's been a member of Unity Church since 1985. He's a published author, and as you know, a musician, and a host of 2 television shows. Happy New You and Mike Cleary Presents. He and his wife Sharon live in Bella Vista, Arkansas, and we are so pleased that you chose today to join us. We appreciate you. And I now turn it over to Mike.
Sometimes we think our journey is just a trip from here to there. We hardly notice the road we're traveling on. Most times we just don't care. You better take a little time out to see the flowers, trees, and sky. 'Cause like grains of sand through an hourglass, these days slip quickly by. You better stop, look, and listen. Take a hike or go fishing. Take a notice of that road you're on, for you'll not be back again. You better stop, look, and listen. See what you are missing. All the glory of this wondrous world on the journey we call life. Folks can grow so discontented with their corner of the world. They dream of distant wonderlands, tops of mountains across the sea. But there's a wealth of treasures unexplored, waiting for you outside your door. Adventure, fun, and mystery if you take the time to see. You better stop, look, and listen. Take an unplanned expedition. Take a detour off that beaten path, for you'll never know what you'll find. You better stop, look, and listen. See what you are missing. All the glory of this wondrous world on the journey we call life. You better stop, look, and listen. Take a hike or go fishing. Take a notice of that road you're on, for you'll not be back again. You better stop, look, and listen. See what you are missing. All the beauty of this wondrous world on the journey we call life. All the beauty of this wondrous world on the journey we call life. Thank you. I'm Mike Cleary, and you know who you are. There's a famous poem by Robert Frost, and it's called The Road Not Taken. And in it, he recalls happening upon a fork in the road leading through a yellow wood. Well, the traveler has to choose which way to go. Well, the poem begins with, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. The traveler has a choice to make. A simple one, it would seem, either to turn left or right, to take the more traveled path or the road less taken. Frost goes on further to describe these two paths. He says, sorry that I could not travel both, and being one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth, and then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning lay equally in leaves, no step had trodden black. It seems that one path was a little more worn than the other. More people had taken it. Maybe it seemed to be the safer path with less obstacles and difficulties. Maybe it was better known and wouldn't lead to some place you weren't sure of. I know my wife Sharon and we just love to veer off the beaten path. She says, life's more interesting on the side roads. We come to an intersection and I say, which way, left or right? She goes, okay. Thank goodness we have GPS. Boy, and back in the old days, we just say, I'm glad there's cars coming from the other way. So, my friend Steve Thole once wore a t-shirt that said, I took the road less taken and now I'm completely lost. Well, part of the allure of traveling is the adventure, to see things that you haven't seen before. And that's why folks often take the road less traveled. As Willie Nelson sings in his song, On the Road Again, going places that I've never been, seeing things that I may never see again. Can't wait to get on the road again. However, I believe this poem is talking not so much about the road itself, but in the choosing of which road to take, which way to go. Many times, we come to a fork in the road, and we choose one way or the other, not seriously contemplating what might have happened had we have chosen differently. We often think that one way is better than another, that one road offers greater opportunity than the other, that one path will get us where we want to go with less difficulty. And if it doesn't, well, we may berate ourselves for making the wrong choice. Like, oh, what was I thinking? Why did I choose to go that way? We made a choice and we felt like it was the right one. Choices are neither good nor bad, right or wrong. It's how we feel about them and how we act upon those choices to demonstrate who and what we are. Do you beat yourself up for a wrong choice? Or do you learn from it and use that experience to grow spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually? Now, Frost concludes the poem with this verse. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. In the phrase, ages and ages hence, he's saying that even though it seemed to be a simple decision, many years later, ages and ages hence, he still contemplates that particular choice that he made. How might his life have turned out differently had he opted for the other path? How might your life have turned out differently if you had made one single decision differently, that you had chosen the other path in the fork in the road? At times we find ourselves tracing back in our minds to certain decisions we made along the way and the roads that we have chosen, and we wonder how things might have turned out differently if we had chosen differently. I remember a film I saw a long time ago. It was called About Time. It was kind of a sleeper film, and not many people heard about it. But I love this particular film because it's not only entertaining, but it gives the viewer plenty of food for thought as well. I believe the best movies are those that make us think, that challenge us to consider other possibilities, not just sit back and be amused. Well, anyways, in this movie, a young man discovers he has the ability to go back in time. He's able to go back and change certain events of the past, but only in his own life. He can only undo and redo things that he has done. The young man is able to correct mistakes that he has made along the way, to choose a different path than the one that he has taken. Of course, there's repercussions to his actions. And more than a few times, the man goes back to do things differently again and again and again until he finally gets the particular outcome that he desires. He discovers that even after going back in time and choosing differently, things sometimes always don't work out the way that he had planned. Wouldn't it be great if we could have a do-over? We could change some of the choices that we made in the past. How many times have we told ourselves, if I'd only known at the time, I wouldn't have done that? If I'd have known, I wouldn't have chosen to take that path in my life. We often fantasize and romanticize how life would be like in our lives if we had chosen differently. Unfortunately, no one's life's journey is free of obstacles and challenges. Every person has had to face difficulties and hardship along the way. Listen to some of the stories told by your friends or the hard times that they have to overcome in their lives. Read the biographies of famous people and the obstacles that they had to face. No life is ideal. No choice is the perfect choice. As with this movie that I mentioned earlier, we can imagine a better life than the one that we are living. But changing some of the choices that we have made, they may alter the events, but not ultimately make us different or better people in the overall scheme of things. We might choose something different, but we wouldn't necessarily be different. What about those fairy tales that we heard about when we were young? The characters who managed to live happily ever after. Therein lies the secret clue. They lived happily. Those fairy tale princes and princesses, they lived happily ever after. Life isn't all roses and rainbows. Things aren't simply handed to a person and suddenly everything's all better. You see, it isn't about the choices that you make, but with the living with those choices that makes all the difference. You don't think Cinderella had trouble fitting into the prince's world? Or Prince Charming had difficulty dealing with Cinderella's lack of self-esteem or inferiority complex? They still had problems after the two of them got together, but they chose to live their lives happily ever after. Our fairy tale characters had to face trials and difficult situations, and they had to make some tough choices along the way. And they may have chosen wrong road at one time or another. However, they ended up feeling happy and content in the knowledge that it turned out to be the right path after all. So you may ask, how can I have a fairy tale ending to my story? Well, I got some good news for you. You too can live happily ever after. Now you may ask, how is that possible? How can I live a fairy tale dream come true? Well, here's something of a revelation for you. You are currently living the life that you have chosen for yourself. That's right. Where you are and who you are right this very minute is a culmination of all the choices and decisions that you've made throughout your entire life. Not just a result of one choice, not just from taking one fork in the road, but from all of them. Sometimes when I'm daydreaming, my mind drifts back to some of the forks in the road that I have taken. And on my life's journey, it led me to certain direction or certain things that I have done. Well, I asked myself, is there one singular turning point? Is there one particular choice that I had made that led me to where I am today? Even if it was possible for a person to go back to the one exact moment in time, to pinpoint the one specific choice is made and to do it over again, imagine all the repercussions it would cause. If you somehow changed a moment in your past, you wouldn't have the friends that you have today. You wouldn't have had all the experiences, all the travels, the sights, and the insights that have made you the individual that you are. Imagine all the joys and the lessons that you would have missed out if things had worked out differently. There's an interesting philosophical expression in the film, The Best Exotic Marigold Motel or Hotel. They say, everything will be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's not the end. Where you are right now is a result of all the choices you've made along your life's journey. And if you're not happy with how things turned out, don't despair, because perhaps you're not done choosing yet. As the saying goes, if it's not all right, it's not the end. Imagine yourself walking through this immense labyrinth. You're walking down winding corridors and through twists and turns and occasional U-turns and setbacks. And perhaps the reason you're not out of that maze yet is because there's still some choices that you have to make, some forks in the road that you have yet to encounter. Our fairy tale Cinderella didn't meet her Prince Charming until she went to the ball. And they didn't live happily ever after until the prince had her try on her glass slipper. There may be some roads that you have yet to travel and some things that you need to learn before your lesson is over. Robert Frost concludes his poem by saying, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And essentially he's saying, choosing the road less traveled by is neither a good decision or a bad decision. It was just made all the difference. It doesn't make a good difference or a bad difference, it just has made all the difference. Decisions that we made in the past are neither right or wrong or good or bad. We can look back at choices that we made in hindsight and see them differently depending on our current perspective. In 1991, I uprooted my life in Chicago and moved to Arkansas. That was a big change for me, culturally, financially, and emotionally. Looking back and comparing my life now to what it had been before, I would doubt I would ever alter my decision. I took the road less traveled, and for me, it has made all the difference. If I had chosen differently, I wouldn't have the friends that I have. I wouldn't have had the many experiences and the challenges that I faced over the years. I would not be standing right here if I even made one of those choices differently. So coming to the fork in the road, choosing left or right, the well-traveled path or the road less taken, is simply a decision that you make. And decisions are neither good nor bad. So good decisions always have a price to pay. And poor decisions offer valuable lessons for us to learn by. It's how we feel about those choices that makes all the difference. We can agonize about all the poor choices that we made in our lives, or we can accept that who we are, the kind of person that we are, and the wisdom that we've gained from those experiences as a result of all the choices that we made, the good ones as well as the bad ones. Every day we come to a fork in the road. We have to choose which way to go. The more popular, well-traveled road, or the challenging, uncharted, less traveled path. And in the end, it doesn't matter which way we go, so long as we learn and we grow from those choices that we've made. You can live happily ever after when you realize that whichever road you choose is the right road for you. It all comes down to feeling good and happy about those choices. Just like the characters we read about in those fairy tales, we too can live happily ever after if we choose to do so. I like to conclude this talk with a song, of course, because I have plenty of music that I haven't played yet, so I'm going to play some more of my original songs after the church service downstairs, so you're more than welcome to come down and join us. This is another song about forks in the road and choosing which path to take. They talk about that fork in the road, and you have to choose which way you're gonna go. You can't see far ahead which way is good or bad, which choice is right or wrong. It doesn't show. There aren't signs from those who've come and gone, so you choose the road less traveled by everyone. But before you go too long, you realize you were wrong, and you yearn to go back where you had begun. Well, I've been down that old road before, and I don't want to travel it no more. I found this road is rough, and I've been knocked around enough, and it doesn't take me where I want to go. Don't want to stay on that old road no more. Gotta choose another path for me for sure. I'll choose for me which way. I have the power to say that I won't go down that lonesome road no more. Many miles I had walked along, and I soon discovered that I had chosen wrong. But every step that I would take is a decision that I make, and I can always choose to take the other road. Right now I can live differently and take a path that feels right for me. Any moment, any day, I can choose another way and live a life that I have always dreamed. 'Cause I've been down that old road before, and I don't want to travel it no more. I've found this road is rough, I've been knocked around enough, and it doesn't take me where I want to go. Don't want to stay on that old road no more. Gotta choose another path for me for sure. I'll choose for me which way, 'cause I have the power to say that I won't go down that lonesome road no more. Yes, I'll choose for me which way, 'cause I have the power to say that I won't go down that lonesome road no more. Thank you. Let us prepare ourselves for our time of prayer and meditation. It's our time to calm and center ourselves so we can be better aligned with God's Spirit within. Take a nice deep breath and draw it in, let it out. This is the body's signal to relax and allow that inner communication with the divine. Breathe in and out, deep, relaxing breaths. Feel yourself turning inward, away from all the distractions and concerns of the world. Breathe in and breathe out. Imagine yourself standing on a lush, green hillside. The air is warm, the sky is bright and clear, and the grass is soft and cool beneath your bare feet. You find yourself standing midway up a long, high hill. You look up the hill. It seems a very long way to the top. You've come so far already, and you wonder if you have the strength to continue on. It's such a long journey, and you question yourself whether you continue on this path to venture along this path alone. You remind yourself, I have the strength and the health to continue along my journey. I have the strength and the health to continue along my journey. Say that together. I have the strength and the health to continue along my journey. You hear voices whispering around you, encouraging you to go further, telling you you can make it. You turn to find your friends, your family, and loved ones standing beside you. You have not been journeying alone. Your focus has been on the top of the hill, upon your destination, and you've forgotten that others are on the path with you. You are not alone. We have the health and the strength to continue on our journey. Together, we have the strength and the health to continue along our journey. You hear those other voices encouraging you to find the strength and the power to keep moving higher and higher up the hill, moving toward a higher vantage point, toward a higher level of consciousness. You look around you. There are far more people with you than you ever realized. A multitude of people all around you, stretching to the horizon as far as the eye can see. And they all encourage you to keep rising on your journey, as they themselves are emboldened by your courage, your determination, and your strength. They whisper, rise higher, go further, continue on. You see among them those we hold in our prayers and those we hold within our hearts who need health and strength. They too are also on this journey with us. To them we say, you have the strength and health to continue along your journey. Together, you have the strength and health to continue along your journey. We turn our attention back to the looming hill before us. At times, it may appear to be so high, so far, so daunting, At times we may feel we are journeying along this path alone. But we know that there are so many others climbing that hill with us. Many other souls are seeking their own paths to rise up to a higher place. They may encounter obstacles and challenges along the way. We remind them that they are not on the journey alone. We remind them, you have the strength and health to continue along your journey. Together, you have the strength and health to continue along your journey. All of us, every man, every woman, every child, is striving to rise higher and higher along their path. We send prayers of healing and strength to those who are in need of our prayers. We continue to encourage them to rise higher and higher, to not be discouraged when the path before them becomes difficult and challenging. They are not alone. We are not alone. We are never alone. And we give strength to all those along the path to rise higher and continue along their journey. And so it is.
Hello, I hope you've enjoyed today's service. I hope that it has touched your heart, that it has impacted you in a positive way and helped you on your spiritual journey. I want to let you know that this center is fully supported by the generous donations of people that resonate with our message. So I hope you will consider giving by going online and giving a gift and helping us to continue this message. Thank you and God bless.
Announcements. And I understand that we definitely need that four-year fellowship sheet filled out. Andy said, when you get to that part, tell them we need some signups. So he's going to pass that along. Anybody that wants to sign up for look at Sherry back there and Jan right there. And I know Jay already hit it, so good job. Love that. Explorers group, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Wonderful, downstairs in our fellowship hall. So be sure y'all take part in that if you are so inclined. I hear it's a lot of fun. I don't get up that early, but others do. Book study, Canoeing the Mountains. We've been doing that for quite some time, and I'm loaning my book out to Jay, who had an interest in it. And you know, if you can get your hands on one of those books, it's an incredible story. Kind of takes Lewis and Clark's adventure and compares it to today's adventure of where we're going with both churches, businesses, the world. You know, we're canoeing mountains, but with a little guidance, we can get there. Oh, today, leftovers luncheon. That's downstairs. Do we have leftovers? We did a lot of eating last night. Yes, so anyway, come down after the service. Mike will be down there with his guitar and some more singing, and that'll be fun. Really have enjoyed your presentation today, Mike, and afterwards, go have some leftovers and some more fun with Mike downstairs. Annual meeting has been rescheduled. It's December 11th. We invite you to join us for that. It's a time when we hear our list of our accomplishments for the year. We look forward to the future. We update the community on our state of our finances. We've got new bylaws to vote on during that meeting, so please plan on attending. And I think Andy's got those bylaws coming out in an email and also in writing out in the foyer. Super Sunday is in 2 weeks, November 27th, where we bring our soup, eat it, and then decorate for Christmas. So might want to join us for that. And thank yous. A lot of people work very hard to put the service together. So we want to say thank you to those who helped decorate it as well. Betty Ward is so great with providing sanctuary flowers, and they are beautiful. So she just loves us and we love her. For your fellowship treats, Jan Burton, good job. They were very tasty. Ushers, Andy and Larry, thank you so much. You did a great job. Austin Cordy and Kelsey Williams, helping with our AV and training a new guy, Devin. Welcome aboard. Music director Tim Sampalo, as always, a magnificent performance. And special music from Mike Cleary and his wonderful message today, The Road Less Taken. Guidance, our daily word, went really well with that, didn't it? And I am your platform assistant, Virginia, and I am thanking myself. How's that? Now, if you'll circle up, we'll sing the peace song.
This be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous love. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's join together in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.